So I haven't been to Taco Bell in quite a while, but I did have some Taco Bell the other day because my wife brought me some of her leftovers, and I had some. I really don't frequent Taco Bell. Used to back in the day. It's been a long time. But here's the question: would you do something if somebody filled a water cup with soda? You probably may complain, maybe ask for another cup, maybe even call a manager. Well, apparently in Florida, someone chose violence.
I choose violence.
According to police, a Taco Bell worker in West Palm Beach allegedly opened fire on customers after an argument over soda poured into a free water cup. Somehow this story gets even crazier the deeper you look into it. This is one of those headlines that sounds like satire, but it's completely real. And the internet has already absolutely lost its mind. So today we're going to break down what actually happened, how the argument started or escalated, the charges against the employee, and why social media is turning this into the most Florida story imaginable. You can't wait for GTA 6, and here you get some previews.
Okay, all right. Don't do it. Open it, come on. Oh, you'll be dead before you know it. I'm there. Just don't.
So let's get into this. According to authorities, the incident happened at a Taco Bell in West Palm Beach, Florida. Police say 3 women entered the restaurant and requested a free water cup. But according to the reports, one customer allegedly filled that cup with soda instead of water. That's when things reportedly escalated fast. Authorities say the Taco Bell employee, identified as 20-year-old Dimari Jai Kwan,
DeMarcus Williams, University of Georgia.
TJ Jackson, Wayne State University.
Tavarius Smith King, Merrimack College.
Ty Royal, Smoochie Wallace, University Miami.
Desquarius Green Jr., University of Notre Dame.
Ibrahim Moizus, University of Tennessee at Chattanooga.
Jack Marius Taktheratrix, Michigan State University.
Patterson confronted the customers over the drink. Witnesses described the heated verbal argument inside the restaurant. Now, look, we've seen this happen before many places. If you lived in the ghetto, you've seen what we're talking about here. You go to a fast food place, someone asks for water, and suddenly they're getting free Baja Blast. Losers. Most people either ignore it or awkwardly pretend not to notice. I do it all the time. But accordingly to police reports, this employee took things way beyond normal confrontation. Investigators say Patterson allegedly pulled out a firearm. Fires were shot towards the customers during this dispute, but thankfully, no one was killed over soda. That is wild. But imagine going to Taco Bell for lunch, leaving somebody, or because somebody started shooting over soda, and you just take off. I mean, I wouldn't. That sounds like a Taco Bell, or doesn't sound like a Taco Bell. So something like GTA 6, like I said, one of those side missions that will probably be coming up. Now, here's where the story gets even messier. According to the reports, Patterson claimed he acted in self-defense against 3 girls. He allegedly told officers he believed one of the customers might have a weapon and that things were about to get jitty, whatever that means. Yes, apparently those were the actual words, but investigators reportedly said the surveillance footage did not support his version of events. Instead, police claim the video showed him escalating the confrontation before firing intentionally. And as a result, Patterson was arrested and charged with multiple counts of aggravated assault with a firearm. Wow, you're going from a working man to a felon. That is crazy. And honestly, the entire situation feels surreal. Because we're talking about a dispute worth maybe, 50 cents? $1, I guess, with inflation today? Or less? People online were quick to point out that the soda probably cost Taco Bell only a few cents in syrup. Meanwhile, now there's a criminal charge, national headlines, and a viral controversy spreading across the internet. That's the part everybody keeps coming back to. How does something this small spiral way out of control? Of course, the internet immediately turned into its meme material. Social media exploded with jokes about Baja blasting customers and comparisons to Florida stereotypes. Reddit threads about the story went viral almost instantly. But underneath the jokes, there's also serious conversations happening. A lot of people online are debating whether fast food workers are reaching a breaking point. And before anybody misunderstands me, there is no justification for violence whatsoever, especially not here, not anywhere. There's no reason to shoot someone over silly stuff like this. None whatsoever. But people are pointing out how stressful fast food jobs can be. I guess to each their own. But you get low pay, rude customers, been there, done that. Constant pressure, that happens anywhere you work, by the way. Nonstop confrontations. Again, that does not excuse what allegedly happened here. But many people believe stories like this reflect much bigger issues. Like everyone feels angry all the time now. They can't be on their phones because the customer needs help. Think about that one. Customer snap, worker snap, driver snap. People argue over the smallest, stupidest things imaginable. And suddenly, every situation becomes dangerous. What happened to the days you just want to fight somebody? Now you want to shoot them. Especially girls, dude. You're a dude. That's what makes this story unsettling because this didn't start with a robbery or a gang fight. No, that's, I guess, would be excusable for some massive crime of some sort. It started with a cup. The reason this story went viral isn't just because it's shocking, it's because it feels absurdly symbolic of modern internet culture. Almost sounds staged. Every week, there's another story where a tiny disagreement becomes total chaos. Airplane fights, road rage incidents, restaurant meltdowns, public freakouts. And now we got the fast food soda dispute turning into gunfire. When you remember when I was in law enforcement, they always said, I thought I saw everything until I went to that next call. That's how these officers who responded here probably felt like. People online keep asking, how are we at this point? I ask the same thing. And honestly, that's the real reason millions are clicking on this headline. Because deep down, everybody recognizes how insane it sounds. Because it does sound insane. You can't even imagine explaining this headline to somebody 20 years ago. You really couldn't. Yeah, a Taco Bell employee allegedly started shooting because somebody used water cup for soda. Nobody would believe it. It sounds like a satire from The Onion. It's except it actually happened. And sadly, that's becoming more common today. Blame it on whoever you want. I always go back to the parents. There's also another angle people are discussing: corporate loyalty. A lot of commentators online question why anybody would risk prison defending a corporation over fountain drinks. Which, by the way, they probably gonna fire you anyway for having a gun in that facility. Because at the end of the day, Taco Bell's they're gonna sell millions of tacos tomorrow and Baja Blast. Meanwhile, this worker, now faces serial criminal charges. Over what? The contrast really fueled the online debate. Some people argued the customers were wrong for stealing soda. Yeah, they are. Others argue there's never a scenario where violence over something so pathetically minor makes sense. True. And honestly, most people seem united in one thing. This situation should have never escalated this far. Not pulling no weapon, not firing for sure. Over a cup of drink. It wasn't even a beer or tequila or nothing expensive. A freaking syrup, soda, sugar water, a cup. Not over Taco Bell. At the end of the day, this story is shocking, bizarre, and honestly kind of depressing because this is our youth. This is our future. It shows how quickly small confrontations can spiral into something life-changing. Somebody could have lost their life in this one over a silly argument, bad decision, and a moment of anger. Why? Yeah, take a deep breath, calm down, guys. And now the story is national news. Been all over the news in the last couple of days, but I want to hear what you guys think out there. Do you think the story like this reflects growing tensions in society? Are customer worker confrontations getting worse? And what do you think should have happened in a case like this? I would love to hear what each and every one of you have to say in the comment section below. Hit the like, subscribe. If you enjoy the breakdown, for sure. If you didn't, then, still subscribe. But let me know in the comment section below why you didn't like it. And subscribe. Did I say that already? Probably did. Oh, by the way, if you gonna sneak soda into a water cup, don't do it in Florida.